Arlene is over there.
Hello.
You can't see her. So today I'd like to give an informative speech on how to come back from sports-related injuries and how to go back to the sport that you were once playing. So I was doing a little bit of research on the internet to look at statistics, and Johns Hopkins says that 30 million kids and teens play sports. And they also said that 3.5 million injuries happen yearly based on sports as well. USA Today says that football is the most dangerous sport, and this is very obvious considering the bashing that they do to each other. Hitting, tackling, headbutting, and regardless, they hit a lot. So some situations cause injury, and some of these situations would be rolling an ankle, spraining an ankle, whether it being a high sprain or a low sprain, breaking bones, tearing ligaments, concussions, dislocating joints. All of these things can happen that cause injury, and those are the injuries themselves. ACSM says that ankle sprains cause or make up more than 1/2 of all sports-related injuries. This is a very common injury. It happens often. It doesn't take much for it to happen. All you have to do is step in a hole in something. Just makes your ankle give out and it rolls. Rolling ankles can cause ankle sprains, which can cause a bunch of other things. Live Strong says that ACL injuries are the most common sports-related injury as far as bigger picture, more serious injuries. And it also says that 150,000 of them occur each year. Rehab is one of the biggest things in order to come back from an injury. Rehab can be anything from going to physical therapy or recovering on your own. The first thing that someone needs to do once they get an injury is go to a doctor if it's serious enough. Make sure that you know exactly what you're dealing with. Know that you need physical therapy, if you need surgery, so you can get better. The best thing to do is to do what the doctor asks. Don't try to rehab yourself if you're not capable of doing so. Let the professionals do what they do. Push yourself. Know your limits, but know that you can go beyond those limits. Obviously, don't try to hurt yourself even more, but if the physical therapist says, do 20 jumping jacks, do 30, do 35. If the physical therapist says, do a mile and 0.5, like do something more. Try to rehab yourself and get better, but don't push yourself too much. That can cause even further injuries. There is a website that I found that from NEOMS. It was neoms.nia. They say that scar tissue helps rehab your body part, your injury. They say that when your injury is trying to heal itself, your body's trying to heal the injury, that scar tissue builds. Well, when scar tissue builds, that's whenever it's recovering, but whenever you're doing your rehab, that's whenever you break up scar tissue. You thin it out, you stretch it out, you make it disappear for the most part, but a lot of times scar tissue stays. And not all scar tissue is bad scar tissue. But whenever the scar tissue thins out and it stretches, this is whenever you're most susceptible to re-injuring that same area. This is bad and very common for a lot of athletes not doing exactly what the doctor says, or thinking that they can just go back to doing what they're doing just because it feels okay. Well, like I said before, stick to the plan of what the doctor says. Let them do their job. So, another big part of the healing process is having a positive attitude and having a goal. Positivity can go a long way. You can't sit there and be, oh, life sucks. I'm never going to get better. I'm never going to be able to play my sport again. My team needs me, and I can't do anything. All I'm doing is sitting the bench. And that's not very good. It's not going to get you healed any quicker. The positivity is what will. Positivity is what drives the goal. It drives everything into getting you better. To have a goal set would be like having a surgery and the doctor is saying, oh, well, you're not going to be back for 6 months. That's the recovery time. You could say, well, to yourself, set a goal, I'm going to recover and I'm going to be back in 5 months. That's a reasonable goal. Have reasonable goals like being able to get all your range of motion back and try to do things that are able to be attained. Don't set unrealistic goals. Trust the doctor and make sure that you can trust them by whenever they say, oh, this can heal. Know that this can heal. Trust them. So, from personal experience, I can say that I have gone through the healing process multiple times. I've had now 4 surgeries. 2 of them being shoulder surgeries and 2 of them being ankle. It is possible to come back, even though when you think that you're never going to. It's possible. It can happen. I'm a living proof. I trusted my doctors whenever I thought it couldn't get any worse. And I set goals, and I was able to reach them. The shoulder surgery happened, the first one in high school, and I did exactly what I said not to do. Yeah, I pushed myself a little bit too much. I came back a little bit too fast, and I re-injured it. Had another surgery on it. I was able to listen to the doctors. I did exactly what they said. I came back. A couple years later, this past year, I had ankle surgery from rolling my ankle, a high ankle sprain. And I had a lot of post-surgical complications and ended up having to get another surgery. And I'm doing exactly what I need to do to come back. And I set my goal, and I'm gonna do it. So it is possible to come back. Well, thank you.
Yay.